TCM podcast, all about Chinese medicine. Welcome to a new episode at TCM podcast. Today we are going to talk about the poisons, specifically about the poisons in Chinese medicine. It is considered the alchemy of poisons in traditional Chinese medicine. Having said that, I would like to note the famous Chinese physicians, specifically Sun Simiao, who exclaimed, "There is nothing that cannot be a medicine." Following his idea, there is no fundamental difference between medicines and poison, because in the right amount, anything can be a medicine. At first glance, medicine and poisons seems to belong to opposite sides. However, in Chinese pharmacology, poisons are widely used as healing properties. At some point, it emerged the idea that the usage of strong poisons contribute to enhancing life or even regaining immortality. Chinese medicine doctors patented medical techniques in order to apply the right amount of poison for medical purposes. Chinese medicine classified poisons according to their healing power, but not toxicity, which was second of importance. A traditional saying in China expressed their fundamental view of poisons: "du以毒攻毒," or use poison as an antidote. In Chinese ancient China, it was popular using poison to cure poison. To accomplish that goal, Chinese used to drink realgar, wine which contains arsenic sulfide. A popular custom they practiced in order to protect themselves was wearing 5 poisonous amulets, Chinese wǔdú錢, contained pictures of the 5 poisonous animals such as snakes, scorpions, centipedes, toads, and spiders. Greek physician Pedanius Discordis wrote the Materia Medica, which actually from about 50 to 70 New Era, which is the foundation of pharmacopoeia of medicinal plant in Western pharmacology, and contains more than 60 toxic drugs, such as opium poppy, mandrake, and hemlock, collected to treat diseases. Unlike Greek medicine, which prescribed poisons regarding their toxicity, Chinese medicine prescribed drugs because they contain poisons. Du, Chinese, historically has 2 equally important meanings: a healing toxic and a poison. It exists different concepts of well-being in ancient China and contemporary times. Chinese pharmacology, in its foundation, sees a completely materialistic world as useful in the scope of healing. Chinese medicine incorporates mild procedures, for instance food therapy, with the function to balance the body, mind, and spirit, and connect it to the universe, and use toxic drugs that might brutally destroy or expel pathogenic agents. Throughout history, Chinese medicine doctors have often used herbal and mineral substances containing du. Night, or Chinese is fuzi, for instance, is a very toxic herb grown in southwestern China and is in fact one of the most frequently prescribed drugs in Chinese medicine. Chinese doctors in ancient times included many toxic substances in the drugs in order not only to cure but also to extend life. It was a popular belief that it's possible to shape the transformation of the body into higher states of being and achieve longevity. Such a process included purification of the body, and the highest goal to attain was immortality. Most of the drugs used for the higher purpose could be used regularly on a daily scale, such as minerals, cinnabar, arsenic, and sulfur. Chinese medicine incorporates Taoist elements because drugs used to strengthen the body were mostly from Taoist scriptures. Modern culture in China witnessed no clear boundaries between religion and medicine. Therefore, drug therapy, talismanic healing, meditation, and incantation were used together. In the ascending years of Chinese medicine, the meaning of du are more complex than the negative sense of poison, as it's associated nowadays. Acting point drugs and eliminating illness without negative consequences to someone's life was part of the time art of healing in Chinese medicine. Poisons are dangerous substances, but also have great healing potential. Doctors in China were fully aware of this fact. Therefore, they created different methods to prepare and use it in a variety of situations. Historically, Chinese medicine viewed poisons as tools used in demonic exorcism and to combat pests. During early history, Chinese doctors advised patients to carry talisman containing arsenic, famous frequently prescribed formula used to expel poisons from the body was made of aconite and realgar. Since 3rd century, Chinese medicine knew about infectious and epidemic diseases. Famous doctor Zhang Zhongjing invented still the widely used methods of using poisons to cure infection and epidemics. Each condition in Chinese medicine is described as pestilence attack, cold attack. External alchemy in Chinese is Wai Dan, presents complex methods and procedures with aim of elixir production in order to attain higher state of being, actually become immortal. Alchemy has a long history in China, the time of Han period, which is up to from about 200 BC up to 220 CE, till its public exposure in 10th century. The usual ingredients used in alchemic procedures were poisons, such as mercury, arsenic, sulfur, and lead. Actually, the general idea was to use such materials, for instance, cinnabar, which contains mercury as solid materials, compared to herbs, which dilute in the body. Such materials should transform the body in solid form as well. For ancient Chinese, represents different transformative level, the body, mind, soul. Such transcendence even correlates to death. The return will ultimately be a transition point in achieving a higher state of existence. In case of visible poisoning, they used vinegar and sal ammoniac as tools to detoxify poisons. Chinese medicine doctors developed a number of pharmaceutical techniques, such as dosage control, drug combination, and drug processing, in order to transform poisons into medicines. Such techniques represent the fundamentals of Chinese medicine practice. From the early stages of classical Chinese medicine, technical manipulation of drugs constituted the core of pharmaceutical practice. An important aspect was the final production method. Drugs could be made into pills, powders, decoctions, which are boiled, decocted in water or soaked in alcohol, and pastes. As a rule, liquids tend to deliver a faster effect as a drug compared to solid forms and are faster digested as well. Because of these characteristics, poisonous drugs were often taken as pills or powders to be digested slowly in the body. These doctors believed in one more important factor: specific condition of a patient's body and conditions. For example, in the case when a person is deficient, it was necessary to replenish the body, or in a case of excess, it was necessary to drain it. We find two major types of drugs in Chinese medicine: the raw or unprocessed and cooked processed. For example, more than 50 species of aconite are used in Chinese medicine today, including the most popular Aconitum carmichaeli from northern Sichuan. The main toxic component in aconite is aconitine type alkaloid. For instance, 0.2 milligram of it taken orally is enough to suffice a person, accompanying symptoms of dizziness, nausea, and numbness of the limbs. 3 to 5 milligrams may cause death, cardiovascular and neurological failure. However, if administered in smaller doses, aconite and other alkaloid in the herb can relieve pain, reduce inflammation, and strengthen the heart. Great pharmacopoeia, Benzao Ganmo, Chinese, written 1578 by Li Shizhen, during the Ming Dynasty, represent the most advanced system in Chinese medicine regarding poisons, where poisons were described and systematized. The book contains a registry of 47 poisonous herbs, opium, which was described only as a warm herb, therapy of stomachache and diarrhea. Speaking about poisons and their institutional supervision, at the time of the Eastern Han period, which was from about 25 BC to 220 New Era, the Chinese Empire established offices for the supervision of healing practices and the preparation of drugs for the imperial family as the court officials. Also, it developed a recruiting patronage system for the new medical professionals. Northern Wei dynasty established the foundation for the future imperial medical bureau, and through Sui dynasty, finally a fully developed imperial medical bureau during Tang dynasty, which was up to 907 New Era. Bureau's aim was to train medical specialists and to provide medical services such as general medicine, which includes internal medicine, dermatology, and cupping, acupuncture, medical exercises as an incantation. In case if an employee commits imperial medical malpractice or a mistake, punishment was serious, with usually prescribed hanging to the death penalty for involved specialists or pharmacy sellers. For example, mistakes made in formula preparation or property of ingredients. Newly revised Materia Medica, which is in Chinese Qin Xiu Bencao, about 659 New Era, was commissioned by the government of the Tang Dynasty. It includes records of 850 medical ingredients and is considered to be the earliest national pharmacopoeia in China. Book contributors invested great effort in drug classification. Famous Chinese medicine doctor Sun Sumiao patented herbal prescription ganghua powder, which contains 64 herbs, including 18 poisonous. He remarks that certain things in the world do not act according to regular rules, but their efficacy has to be clinically tested and proved. Since that time, China witnessed medical prescription clinical testing. Western scientific approach became widely accepted in China from the beginning of the 20th century. Chinese medicine experienced serious trauma. However, relations between Chinese and modern medicine changed their position in the second half of the 20th century. Chinese medicine secures its rightful position when it becomes globally available. Nowadays, in Chinese pharmacies are used a variety of potentially poisonous substances such as aconite, cinnabar, and snake gallbladders. All potent drugs are classified according to modern medical toxicology, regulated and administered with extreme caution. Because of Chinese medicine's transformation and shift to modern clinical testing, many new natural drugs have been developed. One example of Chinese medicine use of pins is the medical formula made by Chinese medical scientist Zhang Tingdong from Harbin. In the 70s, Dr. Zhang was chief of the Chinese medicine research team. They modified and further developed the centuries-known traditional Chinese medicine formula, which contained arsenic, mercury, and toad venom. From the formula, they identified arsenic trioxide as the key ingredient that was particularly effective for treating patients of acute pharmacolytic leukemia. China was closed at the time. It took the international community 20 years to learn about their research. Even today, arsenic trioxide is the most effective drug for combating leukemia during chemotherapy. There were also negative processes regarding Chinese medicine usage of poisons. Famous Chinese medicine formula Longdang Xiega Wang, strongly opposed by the scientific community during 1990s because of its ingredient, a herb called aristocolia, or in Chinese is mutong. That herb contains aristocolic acid, which has been proved to be able to provoke kidney failure, bladder cancer, or liver cancer. In conclusion, we can see a very long history of the usage of poisons in China, and we can objectively recognize the perseverance and bravery of the Chinese in the usage of poisons as healing tools. For clinical testing over the course of history, Chinese medicine doctors developed techniques and poison safety systems, which is an incredible source of knowledge and possibly unique research material for developing future novel drugs. So, I'd like to note that Chinese perseverance and purely idea of wisdom about Chinese poisons, it is incredible source of knowledge. Hope you enjoyed in this very new episode about Chinese poisons. I wish to hear you next time with love and light. TCM podcast, all about Chinese medicine.